Good afternoon, everyone. Today I am going to delve into Plato's vision of an ideal society as portrayed in his work, The Republic. We will examine the various concepts and relevant ideas posed in this ancient text, and how they can be applied to modern life. During this presentation, I will be elaborating on the influence Plato's ideas had on the formation of the Academy and other noteworthy institutions. I am excited to share my views with you. Plato's Republic is a seminal work in philosophy, written 2,000 years ago. Despite the passage of time, its vision of an ideal society has remained relevant. This series will explore the lasting contributions of Plato's Republic to our modern understanding of society, politics, and human nature. We'll delve into how the work's arguments can help us to think more critically about current issues, such as justice, morality, power, and knowledge. Whether a beginner or already well-versed in Plato's work, this series will provide a meaningful way to consider how these concepts relate to our society and lives today. Join us on a journey through one of the most influential works of philosophy. Plato was an influential philosopher who lived in Athens, Greece during the 4th century BCE. He had been a student of Socrates and afterwards established his own school, the Academy, a very influential institution in the ancient world. His works covered a broad range of topics, from ethics, metaphysics, politics, and epistemology, and were in the form of dialogues between characters discussing philosophical issues. We will be exploring Plato's vision of an ideal society as presented in his work, The Republic. Republic is a classic work of Plato, prized as a landmark of Western philosophy. In this dialogue featuring Socrates and other characters, Plato explores questions of justice, the ideal society, and the role of the philosopher within it. It is noteworthy for its detailed description of an ideal society and its influence on political thought throughout history. Additionally, it outlines many of Plato's key philosophical beliefs, such as the theory of forms, the tripartite soul, and the allegory of the cave, which have generated much debate over the truth, knowledge, and morality ever since. Plato's allegory of the cave, from the work, The Republic, is a powerful metaphor that demonstrates the necessity of questioning our convictions and searching for knowledge outside of what is presented to us. Far from being an ancient philosophical relic, this ageless tale speaks to the must to inspect the material we're given vigilantly so that we can comprehend the world around us in a more accurate manner. In a contemporary culture where we're bombarded with information from multiple sources, it is crucial that we take the effort to distinguish between accurate and inaccurate material. With this story, Plato motivates us to spark our inquisitiveness and use our minds to dig deeper and get to the root of the situation. The balance of the three parts of the soul is essential to having a balanced and healthy attitude and behavior towards life. Plato famously stated that a soul without a balance of reason, spirit and desire would not be able to flourish and attain true happiness. It is therefore essential that we make sure that the three parts of our soul are in equilibrium in order to understand our own behavior and motivations, as well as to comprehend those of others. This idea is fundamental to how we can live a well-rounded and meaningful life. The concept of the Philosopher King brings to light the importance of having wise and knowledgeable leaders in modern politics. It makes us question if our current leaders have the necessary skills to make decisions that affect the whole of society. This begs the question of what qualities should we be looking for when choosing our leaders. To move forward, it is essential to consider the importance of comprehending a customer's needs when offering a product or service. Plato's The Republic outlines an ideal society based on his conception of the forms. It proposes a structured, hierarchical society where philosopher kings govern and where justice and harmony are the primary principles. Plato posits that a society based on the forms, representing the highest knowledge and truth, will allow people to recognize the truth and live in a just and fair state. Plato's The Republic outlines his vision of an ideal society. Central to this vision is his theory of justice, which asserts that each individual has a distinct role to play in establishing a harmonious and just society. It is essential to recognize and appreciate individual dissimilarities. To do this, we need to be self-aware of our own strengths and weaknesses and collaborate with others to achieve a unified goal. Such efforts will bring about an equitable and just society. Plato proposed an ideal society which would give both men and women equal chances for education and leading roles. Although he thought men and women have different strengths and weaknesses, he suggested these should be taken into account in assigning them certain roles. Women better suited for tasks such as nurture and household management, while men should take on defending and governing the city. His vision of an ideal society was one of fairness and practicality. Plato believed that a successful society required citizens that were educated in all aspects of life, and proposed an education system that focused on physical, intellectual and moral development. As early as possible, physical training would teach fundamental skills such as reading, writing and arithmetic, with intellectual training consisting in the study of mathematics, science and philosophy, as well as moral development by studying ethics and politics. The goal of the system was to create a just and harmonious society. Plato argued that knowledge was fundamentally important to understanding the realities of life, and that education in the four components of the divided line was the key to unlocking the full understanding of life. He was of the opinion that, in order to create a truly just and wise society, citizens would have to come together and work for the common good. The Republic provides an idealistic view of what a society could look like, with justice and wisdom reigning supreme, when all members of society use their knowledge and skills to contribute to the greater good. Plato's work The Republic includes the captivating myth of regarding a soldier named who lost his life in battle and was brought back to life after 10 days. This narrative speaks to the notion of judgment, the fact that souls settle in heaven or hell based on their deeds in life. Moreover, it highlights the value of reincarnation, in that souls obtain the chance to pick their next life predicated on the decisions made in the prior one. This thought can be applied to our daily lives, as a reminder to be conscientious of our actions. Plato's Republic is an influential work that has shaped our view on justice and the ideal society. Plato outlined his vision of the state, in which rulers should be wise philosopher kings chosen for their knowledge and wisdom. The state is responsible for regulating individual lives and fostering the opportunity for citizens to live in justice and reach their capabilities. His vision has been the foundation of many of our social systems and moral frameworks, and this series examines the implications of Plato's concept for our society today. His work provides us with a lasting understanding of justice and the role of the ideal state, advocating for roles to be assigned to individuals based on their abilities and the needs of society, and regulating all aspects of their lives for the state's justice. The implications of Plato's work for our current society and how his vision can be applied in our lives today has been explored in the series. Plato's vision of an ideal society, as presented in his work, The Republic, is one that is built on virtue. He viewed virtue as an integral part of a just and orderly society, believing that only when citizens take responsibility for their actions and strive to maintain moral principles, will it be possible to achieve harmony and balance. According to Plato, the key to living a meaningful and fulfilling life lies in cultivating values such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Since ancient times, the concept of democracy has been examined and discussed. One of the early authors to weigh in on the subject was Plato in his work, The Republic. Although he proposed an idea of a perfect society, he was also critical of democracy. Plato believed that, because the majority of people have limited intelligence and wisdom, they often choose leaders with little regard to their qualifications, but more based on their ability to capture the emotions and desires of the people. According to Plato, this is a risky and foolish way to govern, as it could lead to policies that do not benefit society and even yield to tyrannical regimes. Furthermore, it can result in the rights of minorities being neglected and freedoms being compromised. The concept of the good is an important part of Plato's vision of an ideal society. In the Republic, Plato outlines his concept of the good as the foundation of a just society. He argues that the good is the highest form of knowledge, the source of all truth, and the ultimate goal of human life. Plato's concept of the good is based on the idea that there is a universal concept of justice and virtue that can be used to guide human behavior and promote the well-being of society as a whole. Through the pursuit of the good, individuals can find true contentment and fulfillment in life. The concept of the good plays an essential role in Plato's ideal society. It serves as the foundation of morality and justice, providing a universal and transcendent standard by which people can judge what is right and wrong. This concept guides the actions of citizens in a society and promotes the well-being of all individuals. By pursuing the good, citizens can lead lives of virtue and excellence, and find true fulfillment and happiness. The problem of evil has existed since ancient times, when Greek philosopher Plato first questioned it. Plato's philosophy suggests that evil is caused by ignorance and lack of knowledge, and the remedy is education and enlightenment. Even after thousands of years, Plato's thinking remains influential and pertinent, as we seek to reduce the presence of evil and increase knowledge and awareness. Plato's vision of an ideal society involves the world of forms playing a major role. He believed that the perfect forms of justice, beauty and truth exist in this realm, and that in order to achieve an ideal society, we must attempt to understand and imitate these forms as accurately as possible. He argued that knowledge of the forms is crucial for a successful and just society, as it allows us to uncover the perfect truth and build a society based on it. Plato viewed knowledge as a vital part of achieving an ideal society. His view of knowledge was that it can be attained through contemplation and reasoning, rather than through sensory perception of the physical world, which is just a shadow of the true world of forms. Thus, knowledge is essential to gaining wisdom and understanding, and plays a fundamental role in Plato's vision for an ideal society. Plato's concept of reality sees the world of forms as unseen and beyond our physical senses, eternal and unchanging compared to the material world of ever-changing impermanence. Plato's Republic provides insight into his exploration of this idea, suggesting that knowledge, understanding, and wisdom must be derived from contemplation and reasoning. Plato's The Republic is a classic philosophical work that has had a profound influence on the world. It explores ideas on justice, the purpose of the state, the value of knowledge and virtue. Its views on the ideal state and the role of the philosopher king are highly regarded and have had a major impact on political thought. Additionally, Plato's critiques of democracy and focus on the importance of education and virtue are still relevant topics in modern politics. Thank you for embarking with me on this journey through Plato's Republic. We have explored the allegory of the cave, the tripartite soul, the philosopher king, the forms and the good. We have seen how Plato's vision has endured and what it can teach us about truth, justice, and virtue. We have glimpsed the possibility of a more just and enlightened society that we can strive for, even if it is a never-ending journey. I hope you found this exploration useful and thought-provoking. Thank you for your time.